And we're here to talk to you about dolphins! I actually wanted to be a dramatic actress for a while, up till college. The problem was everyone would laugh at my dramatic pieces when I was trying to be serious.
I do not have all day to play the fiddlesticks this year.
I always want everyone to get along, and that's always just been how I am. And I found when I was very young that if you can make people laugh, then like everyone's on the same page.
Wait until we reach Normandy. They have some of the finest meat I have drank.
And it's just the one place and the one thing that I feel most comfortable doing and being is like people, are like, oh, that girl's funny.
I think everybody wants to know a little bit more about dolphins.
I don't.
I definitely use comedy as a relief and as a way of coping and dealing with things, and it became like literally a defense mechanism that I enjoyed.
Sketch is written out and improv is made up on the spot.
We're mainly a sketch comedy group, some improv, mainly sketch.
A lot of our sketches come from improvised pieces, but you write a sketch down, you can rehearse it and perform it multiple times, and improv happens once.
Just once and never happens again.
We usually perform in two types of venues. One is a very rehearsed, prepared show that we spend months just going over every single detail. And then the other side is that we'll do a couple shows a week that are just like silly thrown together things.
We saw a house made entirely of candy.
I think our writing process is a lot of different, we go through a lot of different processes. Sometimes it's an idea that one of us has for another person in the group or for all of us as a group. Sometimes it's an improvised scene that we then write down. Sometimes it's like solo bits that we've tried personally and then want to bring to the group.
Yeah, and sometimes it's literally us just goofing around like at work or when we're out, and we tend to use voices and act as characters, and so sometimes it just comes from like us hanging out and laughing at each other. That's my favorite way. And we all like a lot of fantasy stuff. We have a lot of like...
We all love Harry Potter.
Fairy tales, witches.
We all...
Mermaids, unicorns.
I have a question. Sometimes when I'm riding my broomstick, I get this strange and wonderful feeling. It feels like Christmas. It makes me think of Dean Thomas. Am I a freak?
No. And that's why so many girls play Quidditch.
We deal with women's issues. We deal with like issues of like our age and other things that I think are relevant to people that we know.
I've seen a lot of like female-based shows that are comedy or drama, and it's all about like, I'm a woman and this is what it's like and it's so hard, and that's not necessarily what we do. We just deal with like our experiences, and because we're women, like those issues will come up.
Things that we find important or things that we like are funny are often things that were traumatizing for us. And then we like share that experience, and then it just comes through our work.
A raping party? Yes! A raping party! Ah, my sorrow is deep for missing that.
The Viking sketch is some of the most fun I've ever had on stage. It is essentially a rape joke.
So the Vikings are on a voyage, and then Mary Catherine plays the new Viking, and they're talking about all the raping party, raping, but really they're talking about wrapping. They wrap presents and bring it to across the seas to children and in the other countries nearby.
But it sounds like we're talking about like having like gotten ready to go rape and pillage like a different country.
Yeah.
But Mary Catherine's
She's a traditional raper, but
What is this?
I raped it!
You raped it well.
You raped this?
Ivan the Giant, do you have another way of raping?
With my penis!
And then she finds out that we're talking about wrapping presents, and it's devastating.
You have to see it. You can't just hear about it. It's,
Pillage and package! I am the pillage and plunderer!
Oh, no! This is not what we do!
We have been told it was the only rape joke people have ever, like, actually appreciated.
It's an exploration of a word that is taboo, but done in a way that is sort of making fun of those types of people.
My groin tightens in anticipation of all the raping! I did all my raping last night. You beast! You raped last night?
It's dirty humor that's done in a polite and decent way.
It's also like done innocently, so like it's the Vikings, like you have a strong Viking accent, and the Vikings.
Shall we show it off?
But I did bring some spare raping paper for you have not yet raped! You use raping paper when you rape? You want them to be surprised? No!
It deals with something that is always affecting women.
Well, it is a way of like taking something that's a very serious subject and making it light. That's really hard to do.
I'm proud to say that Mrs. has done a rape joke that is tasteful.
I always think comedy is super important and saying things everyone's thinking, but putting it in a way that's safe. Like you're being a character, or it's supposed to be funny, so you're allowed to say these things. Whereas, like, if you're just in a normal conversation, it's like taboo. But there's been times when people have read it and hated it. And I'm also still sensitive about that sketch.
The characters are so outlandish, especially my character, I feel like, because I'm the one that really wants to rape somebody. It's protected in the sense of, like, I go so hard in that role because I feel like it's my job to make sure that it's not offensive, because I'm the one that actually is offensive, if that makes sense. And so for me, it's like I commit fully to that character, so you believe that character is clueless and not us as performers.
I think my favorite skit was the Viking skit. I don't think any of the sketches were insensitive at all. I think they were very on point and very funny. I think it was a great show. I don't think it was demeaning or insensitive in any way.
One time I tried to do it right around when that was like a hot issue, because that comedian, I forgot his name.
Tosh Point.
Was it Tosh who like called up that girl in the audience? Was like, we all should rape this girl, and like really railed on her, and then she wrote that blog. And then everyone was like, "Great, we need to stop the rape humor." And I was like, "Well, there."
I just wrote a great one.
Well, I wrote a great one for you guys. I wrote Vikings like a year before I met the missus, and I wrote it at a Second City writing class, and it was a hit. Like everyone loves that sketch, and I tried to do it in another previous show before I met them, and it just wasn't working. Even though I was like, I know this sketch is great. And then I was like, I met them and I brought it to them, and I was like, I feel like you guys can nail the sketch, and they did, and it's probably our best sketch.
I think it's our most memorable. And then Harry Potter is our other sketch that we wrote, which was a combination of like one of our two biggest inspirations, which is magic
and tampons
and women's issues, which was like puberty and tampons.
Yeah, it's sex ed at Hogwarts.
Okay, first years, settle down.
What, are we in trouble? Because I didn't do nothing, I swear it.
No, Hogwarts is making all the prefects teach the first year sexual education. What with, that tell-all article about Dumbledore being
a fairy bum bandit.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Let's see.
Is that why Dumbledore's so good at magic? Because he's a fairy!
No, that sort of stuff has nothing to do with the magic we learn here. There's a different kind of magic, the magic of a woman's body.
Yeah.
Because they never talk about that in the books.
No.
But they grow up.
It's true. It's true.
Wizard or not, you still need, to learn your basics about that. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I think it like shows each of us strongly as characters as well. Like we each have a very different, unique, character-driven idea in that sketch.
Yeah, this scene definitely like went through all of our processes of writing, improvising, rewriting, and then having a director look at it and then rewriting it again.
Once we got the tampons, we realized that we could like open them, deal with them. They thought they were wands. Because, I mean, everyone went through puberty. Everyone had to take sex ed. And what an awkward thing that is. Mm-hmm. So it's fun to see that, even if you don't know Harry Potter. If the people know Harry Potter, they're dying.
Am I supposed to walk around with a plastic ball inside my chamber of secrets all day?
And this is one of those scenes that it's like we're women and we're not ready to be like women, like tampon scenes for all the women that get it. It's like this is just something that we deal with every month.
Yes, and that we all went through when we were younger.
I haven't found many female comedians that just made me laugh. I am supportive of women comedians, definitely, but I haven't really found that many of them to be that funny. I think sometimes they kind of get stuck on the jokes being of sexual nature all the time. The misses hit on certain points that were sexual, but they were able to do it in a way that was funny.
We have an element of the fantastical and the magical in a lot of our shows, a lot of our sketches.
We definitely are like sisters. We definitely fight. We do not agree on a lot of things. However, there's something magical when we get together.
We're almost like sisters in a way, where we argue and we fight. But I think that, like, at the end of the day, it's like we all really love each other. We all love each other's ideas.
I always leave a message show, being so happy and so proud and in love with these women that I am fortunate enough to perform with.
Mrs. is a bunch of great friends who have known each other for a year now and who love and support each other. And, we're not going away.